Hi everyone, welcome to our new video where we're going to talk again about the gap year. This will be the first video in a small mini-series with people from Global Citizen Year. What is Global Citizen Year, you ask? That's what you're going to learn in this video because Shara and Ulvi, our guests, will introduce to you the program called Academy that was created by Global Citizen Year and that is aimed at students taking a gap year. So stay tuned and check out what it is all about. Welcome to our channel, How Real Life Works, where we talk about all the stuff that school doesn't teach you.
How does that work exactly? How does the application process go? What do students or participants learn? How do they learn throughout the programs? What results do they get from the program? And what kind of support do you provide for the students, given the situation and given, basically how the program is designed?
So the Academy, Global Citizen Year Academy, is a fully virtual experience. And so we created this program in response to COVID, but have found it so meaningful and successful that we are going to keep it, whether there's a pandemic or not, because it's allowing us to serve a much bigger population of students worldwide. And so we kept the application process pretty simple. It's really just an online form, about one page. You're going to fill out your personal information, demographics, things like that. And then we're going to have you upload a video where you talk to us about what your interests are, particularly as it relates to leadership, which is kind of the core concept of the Academy. So in the Academy, we are going to be teaching you about what it means to be a leader, how to find your purpose, how to have an impact in ways that are positive and sustainable. And so you're going to be really looking into questions of who are you and how can you drive the world to something better? And so the Academy is going to consist of what we call the Leadership as a Practice course. And we call it that because I think a lot of, especially young people, think of leadership as this kind of big, lofty goal that we all maybe get to one day if we try hard enough. But those who have experienced being in leadership roles know that you're never really done. You don't reach like the pinnacle of leadership. And instead, what leadership is a practice. It's not who you are, but what you do and what you do consistently. And so there's no reason that a young person can't be a leader, and we're going to help teach you the tools to do so. And so in that course, you're going to meet in a large group, kind of like a lecture, once a week, and then twice a week in much smaller groups to have more intimate conversations that really kind of push the curriculum forward. And then alongside that, students will also hear from speakers across so many fields. So last Friday, we actually heard from Sundar Pichai, who is the CEO of Google. And these talks are exclusive opportunities only to Academy participants, about an hour, and they are interviews from alumni of our program. So we have an alum and like a big shot speaker. And I think that is a very cool pairing because Sundar has probably been interviewed hundreds of times, but I'm not sure how often he's been interviewed by someone under 21 who has very specific questions as to his leadership journey. And so it's a very kind of pointed conversation for students in this age range, and it helps you visualize how you, starting from where you are today, can end up somewhere so spectacular like some of these speakers that we've heard from. And then alongside the speaker series, you also have opportunities to volunteer, like I mentioned, and like Ulvia was talking about with Care USA. I'll actually let you talk about what that process looks like since you went through it directly. The only other thing that I would add is the one-on-one mentorship component. So all of our students will be assigned a one-on-one mentor, and students actually get to select that mentor themselves. So you would kind of determine what do you think you would like support with during this gap period? Might you be applying to university and you need some support with that? Maybe you have a project you're working on in your own community and you'd like their tips or their thought partnership. Maybe you are thinking about a career path, but you're not sure and you want to talk to someone who's actually in it. And so we could pair you with someone who's in that field. So it would really be up to the student as to what they want to focus on. But you will have a one-on-one mentor for the entirety of your academy experience. And I think now in these socially distant times, that can actually be very invaluable because we're not able to network the way that we typically are. And so this is an opportunity to do that. And then, of course, just the fact that you are in a cohort with students from all over the world. While we're all at home and wishing we could travel, I think this is the next best thing. Talking to students from literally all of the continents except Antarctica and just making those cultural connections that you might not otherwise be able to. I just think that what we have created in many ways captures some of the best components of what a typical gap year abroad would be, but we're able to bring it to you right in your home. And then Ulvia, I'll let you talk about the actual volunteer experience.
Yeah, just before I talk about the impact partnership, I'll just mention the grading idea because I understand that also might be kind of nerve-wracking that, oh my God, are there grades? There are grades. It's from 1 to 5, you can get points. So in this sense, you have this really cool online cohort through the Minerva program. So it's Zoom, but a better version of Zoom. And it takes a little get used to, but you have the chat options, you have different reactions that you can put in, which is super fun because while people are talking and you don't want to disturb them, but you want to agree or be oh my God, this piece of information just blew my mind. You can put on those different reactions and it creates this really interactive and fun component to the whole program. And we didn't realize how important it was till we actually had it. So in that, you also have different polls where you can write short answers, long answers, depending on your instructor and that day's work. And then what you do is write it down and then you get graded for certain questions and certain ones you don't get graded for. And that's how most of the assignments work. So you might get 3s, 4s, 5s are nearly kind of impossible. It's a nice way of knowing that where you are and how good your understanding is without really wondering, oh my God, this will completely destroy my future because, well, it won't. It is just it shows you your strengths in the different components of the program. And you have assignments as well, every few weeks. And they're quite easy. They can be ranging from 700 words to 1,500 words, but it's the easiest 1,500 words I've ever written because I had to write 4,000 word essays for the IB. And sometimes writing 300 words for it was oh my God, I'm blank. I don't know what to do because you didn't always know what you were talking about or you didn't feel very connected to what you were writing about. But this is just so much more to do with general knowledge and your opinions of what you've been observing and learning about in classes. It just helped you just have words, you have so much to say, you have so much words flowing, and it's just a really cool opportunity. So that's the whole grading kind of idea. Reference to the impact partnerships, basically you have the Global Citizen Year Academy website. So it's a really nice Facebook, but for Global Citizen Year Academy people kind of platform, and all the impact partnerships are given there. And then you can basically click on different ones and request information about them. So they then directly send you information about how to apply, what you have to send in, or who you have to contact to your email. And then you contact those people. And usually it's just maybe a cover letter, that's not always even the case, and mostly a resume. And it's really nice because your friends aren't competing with you there. It's such a nice community. They rather help you write your resumes. You have mentors to help you and all of that different kind of things. And then you just send in the resume to that person. And usually if they have that spot open, they'll either interview you or like sometimes directly give you. But for me, I know that quite a few people applied to Care USA just because like it was quite in demand because of like the really cool opportunity that they had. Because I think a lot of people who go into Global Citizen Year Academy are very like social justice based and want to do something in relation to like human rights and things of that sort. And Care USA had that really cool opportunity. So I had to like kind of fight people for the place with like interview process and stuff. But once I got it, it was just such an incredible and vital part of my like academy experience. I didn't even apply for a mentor afterwards because it felt like my supervisor was a mentor to me because they're just so open and willing to like work with youth because they've been looking to increase youth engagement. Versus a lot of internships that you might get otherwise might just make you, you know, write an email here and then, or you might not feel like you're doing a lot. And that's what I was expecting going in. But the first day I met her, she was like, okay, so what do you want out of this? Like, who can I get you connected to? And I was like, huh? Excuse me? I didn't know that's how things work. Have I just not done an internship before? Or is this normal? And I realized that no, like, it's just because these organizations are really keen on working with youth and they really want your opinions and like your impact in their organizations. So you have a very big part to play. And I'm really privileged because they enjoyed working with me as much as I enjoyed working with them, for which like I'm hopefully going to the US to study like for college this year. They told me that wherever I end up, like they have youth branches in like different parts in the South and the East and everything. And wherever I end up, there's someone there who I can work with, whether that's like opening care chapter within the college I go to, or actually getting another internship with them, or just being involved as a youth activist with them. It's just such a cool opportunity because you're being valued for what you love, you know, like it won't feel like work. It'll just feel like you're doing what you do in your free time, but someone's actually like praising you for it and giving you validation for it and making you feel like, hey, this is actually experience for the future. And like, if you're someone who cares about what it looks like on a CV, then yeah, you have that as well. You know, it's such an impactful and valuable addition because you're literally having an internship with such a big organization that's renowned for so much of their work while you're not even in college, and people in college are struggling and like hundreds of them are fighting for this place that you got because you were a part of something that's so different and unique. So yeah, like it's such a simple process for such a big outcome. So like a resume and a cover letter for like a lifetime connection with such an amazing organization feels like a really, really good like offer, you know?